This is Hannibal and Piper here from thehannibaltv.com with a daily wrestling news update for you. Ronda Rousey, who has spoken publicly about her disdain of WWE in recent, I guess over the past year or more, actually. She's always complained about it. Might be going back to the UFC. Of course, UFC is now owned by the same company as WWE, Endeavor. But apparently her WWE wrestling contract actually ends after Summerslam. And Dana White is reportedly seeking a new women's star now that Amanda Nunes has retired. Ronda Rousey is, of course, 12 wins and 2 losses. Her last 2 losses were very bad defeats, but she is only 36. And unlike Brock Lesnar, I felt that his star power remained the same or grew with WWE. But of course, he was a wrestler first. But I don't feel like Ronda Rousey is anywhere near as much of a draw in wrestling as she was when she first started, and it seems like it's just a paycheck to her. She just kind of goes through the motions. So it's probably a good idea for her career to return to UFC, even if she does lose. Who knows if they would give her a tough opponent for the first match. The last match she had, I remember watching it. It seemed like the referee got in there really early to stop it, at the first sign of her getting in trouble, to make sure that she didn't take any real damage. Looks like Logan Paul, who's lost about his last 3 or 4 matches in WWE, is continuing down the card to wrestle Ricochet at SummerSlam, most likely. Drew McIntyre is back with WWE. He's not signed a new deal here. His current contract, with the added injury time since he's been off for a while, might be extended possibly all the way through WrestleMania. But I mean, he hasn't signed a new contract, but he's still going to be with them for a while. And Raw in Baltimore last night had over 10,000 tickets pre-sold. John, the sport may have passed her by, but not financially. Her name in UFC would still draw, and it's all about UFC. To me, doesn't really have any draws right now to mainstream people. We know John Jones, but who else really is there? In all honesty, Conor McGregor, who is at the end of his run. Ronda Rousey would be a name. I mean, even Amanda Nunes or Nunes, however you pronounce it, she was good, but she wasn't really a super draw or anything. But she was definitely good. But it's not like she was a house. You couldn't walk down the street and ask 10 people and have more than a few of them know who Amanda Nunes is. I mean, I'm in the combat sports and I don't even really know how to pronounce her last name. That's how little interest I have in her. I know that she was a lesbian. I know that she was a great fighter, probably the best woman fighter of all time. But as far as a draw, Rousey was more of a draw because of all those quick finishes she had and more marketable. And especially coming back out of WWE, where she got some new fans. I think it would be a wise decision for her to go into UFC. Ivan, Baltimore draws for pro wrestling. Yeah, unless it's Ring of Honor. Remember the last few Ring of Honor shows before they sold the company? And probably the darkest days of Ring of Honor. They had a couple free events in Baltimore and didn't draw even with free events. Joe, they don't really have any big names. I mean, McGregor, I don't know how many fights he has left in him. he's making more news now for all of his controversies than he is fighting. Mike, yeah, I remember Rousey came in with a lot of fanfare, and then I don't know. She seems to have just. I'm not interested in watching her at all in wrestling. In UFC, I would be interested to see at least her first fight, to see if she could get it back, and maybe she'd be more motivated now too after all this time off. And it's not like she wrestled that hard of a schedule in WWE. I know she did some house shows, but her body's still probably pretty good. Young Macho Man, I did do a shoot interview with Ivelisse. Look it up. It's right here on the Hannibal TV. Yes, Ronda Rousey did trash WWE and the fans. She didn't seem to enjoy wrestling at all. But who can blame her for making the money? Anyways, guys, there hasn't been a lot of news lately, but I'll keep you posted. In Great North Wrestling news, about 10 days away, Great North Wrestling comes to Smith Falls. Sorry, that's AEW. Great North Wrestling has come to Smith Falls, Ontario, featuring Nunzio Davey Boy Smith Jr. and the Blood Hunter, as well as Vipress, the Serpent of Evil. And Great North Wrestling returns to the Ottawa Valley in Renfrew, Saturday, September 2nd, featuring Super Crazy and Jack Victory. Any CM Punk stories? Collision dropped significantly from the first to the second week in ratings. I don't know if we have this Saturday's ratings out yet. I don't think so, but I'll double check. We'll do this live. Let's see here. Let's see here. Nope. There's no AEW Collision rating. Although Rampage continues to fall. I'm sure Collision did fall again, without a doubt. I mean, the newness is only going to last so long. How was the last Collision? I know it was taped from Hamilton. It wasn't live. I didn't really hear anything about it. Joe enjoyed the two shows. That's good. Well, I'll make Piper appear one last time before we go. The greatest dog in the world. She is tough, guys. I know she's my pup and everything, but she is extremely tough. I gotta tell you, the toughest dog ever. True fighter. I love her with all my heart. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news